to you by AARP New York. Age proud, connected by community. By Umberto's, home of the Grandma Pizza. And by 1-800-GOT-JUNK. Well, this is an ad for the opposing pitcher. We make junk disappear. Well, the Mets will try and do that tonight. Go all in on game nights with MLB Plus. Stream MLB Network 24/7 as well as select out-of-market games every week. Plus live radio broadcasts of every game and minor league action too. Visit MLB.com/MLB Plus to subscribe. Themes of the game brought to you by Bet365.
Freddie Peralta, great person, great teammate, having a tough year. They can all be true. Otto Lopez, hits and doubles. He's been around the top all season long. And Carson Bench, Francisco Lindor, Soto, and Ewing will be the cornerstones as you move forward.
McLean.
Well, I didn't talk about the pitchers. I'm talking about the everyday players.
Pitchers are players too.
Yeah, I played and I never felt like a player.
I mean,
it just made me feel bad about myself.
You're players. You're all part of the mix.
Gary, pitchers are never cornerstones.
More excitement to come. 52 games left in the regular season. Come on back. First pitch is next.
Lower.
Marlins lineup brought to you by Empire City Casino. Only one change from last night. Javier Sanoa gets the start at third base rather than Graham Pauley. Marlins have now lost 13 of their last 16. Still on the outside looking in the National League wild card race. 2.5 behind the Diamondbacks and Phillies for the final spot. Keith says it's sticky tonight.
It is.
Even sticky on the floor here.
Well, that's a whole different issue. Once in a while, maybe they'll clean the place. Well, it's been 13 days since Kodai Senga went to the mound, which is actually a good thing. It's because the Mets have been pitching so well they haven't needed their long man.
Yeah, and when the last time he was on the mound was in Philadelphia, and he was in one of those appearances where he had no one up in the bullpen, and he had to retire the side. This time he gets a chance to start the game. A couple of years ago, boy, he had a season for the ages.
It's been more than 5 weeks since he made a start. June 23rd was his last one.
And the Honda Mets defense. Sorry to interrupt you there, Garrett, but I got to do this. It's his Honda.
I was
right
actually
now.
done.
Honda defense, same as yesterday. But Brady moves from first to second base, and Jared Young is at first.
So it's not the same.
Right.
Clayton McCullough in his second year managing the Marlins.
Clayton McCullough sounds like a name you'd have if you wrote fictional westerns.
Yes.
By Clayton McCullough.
I was going to say that last night about McClain with the mustache. He looks like he'd be in a western.
So like Cormac McCarthy.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Andy Green has the Mets playing well right now. The Mets have had the best ERA in the National League since the All-Star break, 2.84. They've had 4 straight games now where they've gotten at least 6 innings from their starter. Not going to get 6 from Senga tonight. He hasn't pitched in a long time, but they'll get as many innings as they can as he substitutes for Freddie Peralta, who was scratched. Liam Hicks leads off, DHing again tonight. Senga's first fastball is in for a strike, and we're underway. One of the things that Senga did during the 5 outings out of the bullpen since his last start is really pare down his repertoire.
And I think what's interesting about it, Gary and Keith, is that maybe moving forward as the season unfolds, maybe he becomes a guy with an uptick in velocity that you use in kind of 1-inning stints.
Well, the Mets are going to have some bullpen pieces to replace. They've already traded A.J. Minter. They're likely going to trade Brooks Raley. Don't know about Weaver and Brazoban, but all those guys are certainly available for the right price. So there's going to be a hole in the bullpen, and perhaps Senga can be the guy to fill that hole. 2-1 to Hicks. Biggest thing for Kodai, he's got to throw strikes. Hicks flies one out to left center, and Ewing ambles over and puts it away for the first out. Marlins have the best record in the majors in June, but they have stumbled in July. 12-game losing streak. They snapped that against the Phillies by sweeping, but then lost last night. So 13 losses in their last 16 games. Here's Xavier Edwards, 1 for 3 last night. Edwards starts the day 8th in the National League in batting at .292, 8th in on-base percentage at .373.
He's a very, very good player. I like him a lot.
Switch hitter fouls off the first fastball he sees from Senga.
I mean, there's a bit of Luis Castillo in his game when you watch him. Maybe not as good defensively.
Maybe a little more pop.
A little more pop. But, you know, last night attempted the bunt a couple of times. One successful and one not.
This is Senga's 8th career start against the Marlins. First time he's faced them this year. And Edwards pops one foul back and out of play. Edwards 4 hits and 13 career at-bats against Senga. His last start was against the Cubs on June 23rd. He got routed for 7 runs that night, walked 5 3 2/3, and that was when he got shuttled off to the bullpen. Had a stint on the injured list. He was out for 6 weeks, made 3 starts coming back from the injured list, and it didn't go well. And those are his overall numbers over his 7 starts. So he's pitched only 5 times in the last 5 weeks, all out of the bullpen. He's ahead on Edwards 0-2 with Otto Lopez on deck. With Minter gone to Minnesota, the Mets have to make a couple of player moves today because they also put Cionel Perez on the injured list with a forearm strain. That's never a good sign. So Jonathan Pintaro and Xavier Curry are both here, and more likely than not, we'll see them sometime before the night is done. 1-2 coming, and he got him with a forkball. Beautiful from Senga for his first strikeout.
You know, there was a time when Kodai Senga was up on you 0-2 or 1-2 and game was over with this pitch right here as the bottom drops out. It almost seems like yesterday he made his first start in Miami against his Miami Marlins and had that brilliant rookie season.
It was 2023, then missed most of 2024. Otto Lopez flies one out to center. Luis Roberts scurrying back to the warning track, and he runs it down. Nicely done by Robert, and a 1-2-3 opening inning for Kodai Senga. Mets come to bat in the bottom of the first with no score.
Lower.
That's a sweet video.
That's so nice.
Nice job, guys. A.J. Ewing leads off against Jansen Junk and takes his first changeup blown away. You see lots of changeups from Junk, who is not strictly a junk ball pitcher.
But he's close. There's a lot of sliders and a lot of changeups. About 35% with the cedar.
Well-traveled right-hander. Started out in the Yankees organization. Made his big league debut with the Angels. Then went to Milwaukee. Then to Oakland, and finally landed with the Marlins last year. And he was their best pitcher for big chunks of the season last year. Now his 15th start this season. And the breaking ball drilled to right, but right at Conine, who's playing deep. We mentioned last night how deep these Marlin outfielders play, and it served Conine well. Mets lineup brought to you by the New York Lottery. Luis Robert had the go-ahead hit last night. Slots in 5th behind Carson Bench. Jared Young, who had the night off last night, in there. Now Francisco Lindor, who drove in the first Met run last night. Last 14 games, 964 OPS for Lindor, with 14 RBIs in the 14 games. Jensen Junk is 30 years old. Went to Seattle University, where he was teammates with the most popular man in baseball right now, Tarek Skubal.
Huh.
I mean, how many times in the last week have you heard Skubal's name mentioned?
God, he's come up with the Brewers have an interest, the Dodgers.
I think any team in contention would like to have him. The question is, can you satisfy the Tigers' needs? And you have to remember that as great as Skubal is, he's a rental player.
He is a rental player, but I was thinking about this today. As great as it is to acquire Tarek, it's better if your opponents don't get him.
Well, what you hope, if you acquire Tarek Skubal, is that he is a rental player like CC Sabathia was a rental player in 2008.
That was one of the best runs you've ever seen. Randy Johnson in the day with the Astros.
What made Sabathia so special in that run from Milwaukee in 2008, as Lindor takes strike 3 called, and that's the second out, is that he took the ball on short rest going down the stretch, knowing that he was going to be a free agent at the end of the year.
Short rest, completing games. He just showed the warrior he is, and that's why Hall of Famer.
You know, when I would watch pitchers, and Sabathia was such a beast on the mound, hard thrower, hard slider, power pitcher, and I just, from looking and observing, just it would not be a day in the park hitting against him.
He'd be an intimidating force. Just
really,
man,
seriously.
Bo Bichette, one of the few Mets who's faced Jensen Junk before. He's 3 for 4 against him.
And your Marlin defense brought to you by Optimum Fiber. And you got the same outfield out there in center field. Stowers at first base. I love Edwards and Lopez up the middle. Sanoja gets to start today at third base.
Sanoja won a Gold Glove as the utility Gold Glove player in the National League last year. Bichette lays off the breaking ball, and it's 1-2. By the way, Sabathia's numbers in 2008 down the stretch that year after he went to Milwaukee: 17 starts, 11-2, 1.65, 7 complete games, 3 shutouts.
That's the
Well,
I mean,
it's hard to best Rick Sutcliffe in '84, coming over from Cleveland to the Cubs, going 16-1.
He came so early, though. That was before the trading deadline.
Was he a rental player?
I'm not sure.
I'm
not so sure, but it was a heck of a trade. Dallas Green was the GM of the Cubs then.
Doyle Alexander had a great year. Traded for Smoltz.
Yep.
Doyle Alexander had an electric hook.
Doyle, when he went to Detroit, went 9-0 down the stretch.
Doyle Alexander was a fine pitcher, had a funky motion, and he knew how to pitch. And he had one of the greatest curveballs I've ever faced. And I did not like to face him. And I was one very happy camper when they traded him out of the league to Detroit.
Bo had 2 more hits last night. Single and a double. Fouls off the curveball, and it's 1-2.
We have to let our fans know there was no interleague play then. Just national against national.
Oh, you know, pitchers hit then?
What?
Yeah,
Yes,
they
they
had
do.
to come to bat.
Didn't you hit back-to-back home runs, Ron? That's shocking.
It is shocking. That means there was a lot of downtime.
7th pitch of the at-bat coming to Bichette, and the curveball outside, 2-2. Junk made 16 starts last year, 15 this year for the Marlins, but somehow he is facing the Mets for the first time ever. Bichette flies one foul. That'll go out of play.
Mixed. Nice catch.
Successful night at the ballpark.
Right. Junk missed 6 weeks this year with a bruise on his shin bone.
And Bichette chops one out to second, where Edwards has it. And that retires the side. So Junk has a 1-2-3 opening inning. No score after 1.
Wow.
We're cruising.
That water's cold. I wouldn't jump in.
Well, it's summertime. It should be fairly
Okay.
warm.
The current's strong, Garrett. You don't need to do that.
Brooklyn looking good. Kyle Stowers leads off in the second. Stowers homered last night. He had 2 balls, 110 miles an hour plus. Senga got the side in order in the first inning. Stowers flies this one out to left. Ewing coming toward the line. Slams on the brakes. 1 out. Drive Around the Majors brought to you by Lexus. Well, Harrison Bader, not only did he scooter into a fire truck and is out for the year, but apparently he had done this before.
How could that be?
Did he do it during the evening or in the broad daylight?
I believe it was a 2 a.m. kind of a thing.
Oh, so in the morning. That kind of stuff can happen.
Yeah, but apparently he did it once when he was at the University of Florida. Drove his scooter into a parked vehicle.
At 2 a.m.?
Well, I don't know about the timing, but just the fact that it had happened before, you'd think the phrase once bitten, twice shy might apply.
We love Harrison. He was a good man.
Well, if the Giants were hoping to trade him at the deadline, that's now a moot point.
Yeah, they're not getting a lot of feels on any of their big players. They're ready to pull the plug on Devers, Adames,
Well,
Chapman.
I'll tell you one guy who is going to get a lot of interest from the Giants, and that's Robbie Ray. He pitched another gem last night against the Padres. Griffin Conine 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts last night, and he takes the forkball down, 2 balls and a strike.
Griffin is very antsy at the plate. Kind of, not jittery is not the word, but just kind of moving around a little bit.
Caffeinated?
Not staying still.
It's interesting you say that, Keith, because I think about his dad. His dad was so stoic in the box,
Yes.
right? Just like
his dad, Jeff, was a Met for a short period of time, right at the end of his career. Oh, it's Spider-Man night.
No, I have to.
Spider-Man and the Mets go back a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Spider-Man was first introduced in the comic books in 1962.
Really?
Oh.
Same year that the Mets
I must
started
have,
play.
That's one of my favorite cartoon characters.
That's a little creepy, I have to tell you.
Oh, it's a villain. Is a
Marlin.
Yeah, but the tongue is a little creepy, don't you think?
Stan Lee responsible for
Yes.
Spider-Man? Of course.
Well, he conducted the Spider-Man wedding at Shea Stadium.
Oh, gee.
3-2 on the way. Swing and a miss. Got him with a cutter. Second strikeout for Senga, who's retired the first 5.
Well, this is the cutter, and he just gets that on the outside part, and it kind of just fades there.
Yeah.
Conine swung right over the top of it.
Missed it by a mile.
Now, the biggest thing for Senga tonight is he's throwing strikes. And when he throws strikes, generally good things happen. As Heriberto Hernandez, who was 0 for 3 last night, came into the series a red-hot hitter, still tied for the major league lead in extra base hits in the month of July. You know that today is the last day of July?
Yes, I do. Get out of July. July was always a dog day month for me. I just could not wait to get out of July.
Did something magical happen on August 1st?
Oh, you just smelled it. Smelled the end of the season. It was the big push here. Get your second win in August, even though it's still steamy hot. Especially, I felt it was August 15th was always the beginning of the stretch run, the last 6 weeks of the season.
Did you feel differently depending on whether your team was in the race or not?
No.
On the 1st of August?
Couldn't matter because it's always pride in performance, and I was always a better second half player. I always had good Augusts and Septembers. It was drilled by Juan Hernandez. You always get your second win in August.
Really?
Yeah.
Hernandez strikes out on the fork ball, and Senga off to a rip-roaring start. 6 up and 6 down with 3 strikeouts. He's got the good fork ball going tonight. No score in the second.
That's a
Well, tonight's poll question is presented by Ford and formulated by the Pixmasters. Not the Mixmasters, the Pixmasters. Yeah. How soon can the Mets be World Series contenders again? Well, use your phone to scan the QR code on your screen to submit your answer now.
I'm going to scan the code. Can I have it back up there when you get a chance?
Would you like the results of last week's poll?
I would love it, Gary.
Last week's poll, 62% of fans voted Francisco Lindor as the trade candidate that they don't want to see moved. Luke Weaver got 20% of the vote.
So they didn't want the trade candidate. Okay, get it.
Carson Bench 1 for 4 last night. Bench, Robert, and Young for the Mets in the second.
Oh, so Gary, it's a multiple choice on this on the QR question.
Oh, did you scan it?
I did. Next year.
And what are you going to vote?
Not voting. Next year, 2 to 3 years, 4 to 5, more than 5. Not sure, no opinion. That's your options.
Never was not a choice. I mean, are you going to put your thumb on the scale?
No, I am not.
Do you feel as though you're not an eligible voter as Edwards throws out Bench for the first time?
No, I'm actually qualified.
I mean,
qualified.
you are. You do have expertise in this area.
You know, I don't go in for this stuff. You know, I just don't go in for it.
Well, but you scanned the code.
Just out of curiosity.
Hey, now that you've scanned the code, they will be in for you.
That's exactly right. You're going to get
every quiz in the world.
You're going to get inundated now. They got you in their clutches.
That's right.
4 up and 4 down for Junk. Here's Luis Robert, who had the big 2-run single in the 8th to put the Mets over the top last night. It's going to be interesting to see whether Robert gets a lot of play in the trade market. I mean, he's barely played this year on only 114 at bats. He's such a great talent, but he carries a hefty price tag. Junk has been dominant against right-hand hitters so far this year. The splits are enormous. The righties are hitting just 195 against him. The lefties 324.
Yeah, he's been working on that changeup to try to level that playing field against the left-handed hitters.
And he gets the outside corner with the fastball to get Robert looking.
I thought that ball was outside.
Hey, 2 of the fastball strikes away were not even close. Could have challenged him, but he did not.
It's outside. That's a very generous strike right there.
Brendan Miller, the home plate umpire tonight. So 2 out and nobody on now. Jared Young. Young came in for defense late last night. Last 17 games hitting .333 with a .923 OPS. And the only reason he's not playing every day now against right-handers is because the Mets have to find spots for Brett Baty to play. Now that Semien is back, things are a little more crowded for the moment. Just don't know what the team's going to look like 3 days from now.
Well, you know how the writers love to at the end of the year give a grade to the players and their year. Young will get a real nice grade for what he's done this year.
Certainly has been among the most pleasant surprises for this team.
There's a seriousness and a toughness to how he plays the game as well.
Agreed. He's a hustler.
Getting his most extensive big league playing time this season and taking advantage. Right behind the bag at second is Lopez. And he throws out Young. And both pitchers have gone 6 up and 6 down to start the night. Well, the clouds have parted. The sun is shining through.
Looks heavenly.
We go to the third inning. Kodai Senga's turned in 2 impressive innings to start the night. Jacob Marcy leads off the third for Miami. And swings and misses a first pitch sinker, 0-1.
Ronnie, I've noticed one thing. Catchers today, a lot of them, most of them, they put the glove up for the target, and then they drop the glove. Would you like that?
I wouldn't like it because I was taught in those days, and Seaver was a big proponent of that, is that you check the glove out, then you took your eyes, averted them away from the glove, diverted them away from the glove, and then caught the glove right before you're about to deliver the pitch. Tom used to always say it's impossible to stare at one spot that long. So you stare at it, you look away, and you pick it up again right before you throw it. And if you did it that way, the way they catch today, you would have no area to throw to.
Marcy takes slider for a strike, and it's 1-2.
You know what's funny? It's just the opposite as a hitter. I remember distinctly Jesse Orozco struck me out, and I had my focus on the point of release, and I'll continue shortly. Oh, he's got a big strike zone.
Marcy goes down looking. That's 4 strikeouts for Senga, including the last 3 batters.
Jesse threw me a slider at Dodger Stadium, and it was in the playoffs in '88. And I lost my focus on the point of release, and I looked somewhere else, and I couldn't refocus on where and I just looked like I'd never swung a bat in my life. Strike 3.
Now Joe Mack, the rookie catcher, 0 for 3 last night. And he lines one into right field, and that's going to go all the way back to the wall. Mack heads for second. He is the first base runner of the night for either team, a stand-up double with 1 out in the third.
He likes that ball middle and down. Another one of those left-hand hitters.
I think it was a split. It's either a cut or a split. Something off speed.
He's a strong kid. That's a breaking ball.
First pitch breaking ball.
He was shutting it down going into second, and Bench didn't miss throwing him out by very much.
Okay, we see it. Yes, you did good. Nice double.
Now the corners pinch in against Javier Sanoja, batting 9th in the order, always a threat to bunt. And he pops one up. Lindor retreating to call.
Only backpedal.
And catch, 2 out. Ball kept on carrying further than Lindor expected.
Yeah, he had to get on his back pedal there.
That's like you know, in college football when they punt it and you think you got a line on it and then it carries over your head and you're like, uh-oh,
worse, you got to hit you in the helmet.
Yes.
So 2 out and a runner at second, and now Liam Hicks, who flied out to left to open the game. It's a funny game sometimes. Kodai Senga was basically relegated to the end of the bullpen, and he's only pitching tonight because Freddie Peralta is due to be traded soon. And here he comes out and he throws 3 scoreless innings to start the night. No score in the third. So you know how our broadcast is in HD?
Yes.
This shot of our control truck is in no D.
I mean, this looks like the opening scene from Monday Night Football 1977.
Dun, 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 dun.
That's got to be a lot of sensory overload for those guys down there.
It's a lot of monitors to keep track of. Brett Beatty takes a fastball strike from Jansen Junk as we start the bottom of the third.
You know,
Beatty 0 for 3 last night.
Not only all those different screens, they got to get the commercials in, Gary. They got to count us out the commercial, count us back in. It's a lot of responsibility.
Well, that's why there are so many people down there. It's more than just one person can handle.
They got to get the food order in with the runner. Make sure they get their, steak sandwich.
How come they can't eat before the game like the rest of us do? And there's a fly ball out to left. And doesn't the food get on the equipment? Isn't that a problem?
Of course.
When our picture goes out, is that why?
I go in there 2 or 3 times a year with a hazmat suit on.
That's right. You know, the ketchup, the mustard, mayo, relish.
Well, and the ketchup, you've got the ketchup which spills and then the sweat.
Oh,
And think if you got the sliced tomato in there and the seeds will spill out.
the all everything bagel just really throws them for a loop.
Here's Jorge Polanco, and he takes fastball inside. You think the poppy seed or the sesame seed is a bigger issue? I mean, the poppy seed is smaller. It can really get into, some crevices that the sesame seed cannot penetrate.
Oh, Gare. You remember what happened in San Francisco with the spilt coffee.
Well, it happened here, too.
Happened here with Dave Freed.
The perpetrator on my left.
Only cost you a $5,000 computer. No big deal, Gare.
Well, see now, the shot of the truck is very blurry, but the shot of the booth is sharp, and I don't know why there's a difference.
You got me. I just show up on time, do my job, and go home.
There you go. That's more like the truck shot. There we go. That looked like the Columbia Princeton broadcast of 1939.
There you go.
Polanco hitless in his last 19 at bats. Trying to get some kind of season generated over these last couple of months after missing so much time with injury and struggling so mightily since coming back. And he takes a high strike. He's going to challenge the call.
The pitch was called a strike and the batter is challenging.
Yeah, I think he's going to win this challenge.
Yeah, it's close, though. It's real close.
There have been a lot of borderline pitches called strikes early in this game, but Polanco the first one to challenge, and it was clearly out of the zone. And it's 3-2.
My bad. It was not close. Not close at all. Does it always have the countdown there? Did you see that? 3, 2, 1?
It flips it, yeah.
Oh, there.
Yeah, that was kind of weird, wasn't it? I never noticed that before.
3-2 from Junk. And Polanco drills one foul.
Good hustle by the ball boy there. Oh. Okay.
We're all spiders tonight.
You know what's funny? This little kid right here behind home plate. He's got the best seat in the house. He's got to be so excited. Right there. See him with the chain around his neck. He's got,
standing up there?
Yeah, he's just right. Look at that seat. He's got it.
Right in front of Bill, baby Bill. 8th pitch of the at bat, and Polanco goes down swinging on a changeup.
You know, Gare, when we were kids, we would go watch the San Francisco Warriors play when they had Wilt Chamberlain and Guy Rogers, and we'd get set up in the upper tank, but the Warriors were terrible in the fourth quarter. The ushers would let us down on the floor level.
Really?
And we got to watch like the whole second half of the fourth quarter on the floor.
So that was you 60 years ago.
Yes.
Right. Without the chain.
Precisely.
Sure.
One wouldn't have liked the chain.
No.
Francisco Alvarez takes a slider for a strike.
That was the only sport that I asked for autographs.
And they were so tall.
Yes. When I asked Wilt Chamberlain for his autograph, and I don't think I.
Alvarez flies one to left. Got it off the end of the bat. And Hernandez has it. 3 perfect innings for Jansen Junk. We'll hear more about Keith's Wilt Chamberlain story in a moment. Well, while our director Eddie Warman has fun with the setting sun, we're going to check in with Steve Gelbs.
Gary, one thing that has become abundantly clear is that Andy Green is intent on pushing his young players to their fullest potential. I thought it was really interesting after the game last night. Everybody watching would have thought Nolan McLean pitched great, and he did. But when asked about McLean's outing, Andy made sure to point out the fact that he thought McLean got a little too emotional after he got a strikeout to start off the 7th inning, lost some focus, and gave up the home run to the next batter. And it kind of echoes something that Andy Green said about Christian Scott earlier in the month. He pitched 5 scoreless innings against the Royals and said, yeah, he was good, but I know he can be better, and he should be better, and he should push to be better. And it's kind of aligning with how Andy Green thinks about developing players as the farm director. He said he doesn't really understand when the idea came out that young players should be coddled. You are preparing them for the hardest thing they will ever do, to pitch and succeed in the major leagues. And if you are not direct with them about what it will actually take, if you are not holding them to the highest standard, then you are not doing your job as a coach, and ultimately you're putting them in a position to fail, not succeed, and reach their potential.
I like that very much.
You know, we asked Andy about his approach earlier today and whether it was an organizational idea to be a little more aggressive in terms of expectations. That's lined out to left, and Ewing hustles back to retire Lopez. And he said, what I'm doing aligns with organizational goals, but they've also given me the leeway to develop players with my personality.
Well, I think what he has realized is that not everyone realizes that at this level now, you're still developing. And if you're not developing, then you're going to be in trouble over the course of a long season. And Andy gets that.
And I think, too, especially with Nolan McLean and Christian Scott, he says these things because he thinks that their potential is so high. He thinks Nolan McLean can be a top 5 pitcher, that Christian Scott should be a guy that goes deep in games and can be a top of the rotation pitcher. And if you don't push them, then it's possible that they rest on their laurels a little bit.
Another aggressive swing early in the count. Kyle Stowers pops one up. Bichette grabs it. That's a 4-pitch inning.
The message to McLean from Green: you can get excited when you get the last out in the 7th.
Injury report brought to you by NYU Langone Health. Not a good sign. Cianel Perez on the IL with a forearm strain.
That's
scares you.
That's too bad, because he has thrown so well, and there must have been some interest in Perez as well.
Without question, he was developing as a trade piece, but now there's concern for his long-term health. Home 4th inning. Jansen Junk's been perfect so far. A.J. Ewing has the hardest hit ball lined out to right. He lines this one to center. Marcy retreats, and in front of the warning track, he's got it. Meanwhile, Kodai Senga has retired the last 5 batters on a total of 6 pitches. 33 pitches through 4.
It's just not what you've seen from Kodai all season long, so it's just nice to see.
He's getting help from the Marlins hitters. I mean, they've gone out of the strike zone. That's why they've been chasing the high one.
But how much of that is Brennan Miller calling a huge strike zone early in the game?
It's true. It's given Kodai some confidence, because he certainly could use it.
I just mean in terms of the hitters attacking, knowing that seemingly everything close is going to be called a strike. Lindor was called out on strikes his first time up. Junk's now retired the first 10. And the curveball down. 1-1. The last Met pitcher with only 33 pitches through 4 innings. You got to go back to 2015. Bartolo Colon.
Oh, that makes sense.
That does make sense.
Big Bart.
Nice play. Gilbert Gomez. 2 hands on the pickup.
He's made some good plays down there.
It's all about knowing which ones you can handle and which ones you need to let go. You don't want any first base coach.
Ball.
2 in a row.
Inside, way inside. There's Gilbert.
1-2 to Lindor with Bichette on deck. Slider misses down. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Oh, that little graphic. Mets 4.12 runs per game. Cleveland 3.93 runs per game.
That's last in the majors, but they are in postseason position right now. The Guardians. 3-2.
Yeah, the Mets are traveling to Cleveland after this homestand, this series.
Guardians have gotten great pitching. And they are in a division that gives you quarter. That's outside ball 4, and the Mets have their first base runner of the night. And that brings us to the road ahead, brought to you by your Tri-State Chevy dealers. 2 more in this series. Late tomorrow afternoon. Don't forget, ceremonies before the game starting at 3:30. We'll have all the coverage celebrating the 1986 World Champions. And then Sunday, 1:40 first pitch. And then the Mets go to Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and Atlanta on the next road trip.
Will you guys see Gavin Williams when you're in Cleveland? Is he going to pitch? Big rig. He's quite a pitcher.
Grounded to the left side. And bobbled slightly by Lopez, and then safe at second. Lindor running through the bag, and now is in a rundown. Bichette trying to advance to second, but he's going to have to go back to first.
Well, there's one where it blew up in their face right there.
Well, that's what they teach now, running through the bag. But that time, it cost the Mets.
I don't agree with that. I just don't agree with it.
Six, 4, 5 on the fielder's choice.
Well,
I mean, do you give Lopez an error allowing Lindor to reach second?
that's a good question. Because he did kind of have a tough time getting it out of the glove.
But he did reach second, so it's got to be either a hit or an error. And then he's tagged out in a rundown on a fielder's choice. So it has to be something.
It's definitely not a hit.
Hit hard by Benj, and that's a base hit. Bichette will go first to third. Benj trying for 2. The throw by Conine, the slide, and he's safe. Benj hustles a 2-base hit. His 15th double of the year.
Conine didn't get himself in position to make a better throw.
He got caught flat-footed there.
It's a game of inches, and Benj just got his left arm in there.
Yep, he just took it for assumed that he was going to hold up. Good aggressive base running.
Second and third, 2 out. At least Robert fouls one back. So on the Bichette ball, they're calling it safe on a fielder's choice, which is to imply that Lopez could have gotten Bichette at first.
That's not true either.
I don't think that's true either. I think it's got to be a hit or an error.
I think it's an E, personally.
Anyway, there are 2 out. Now Robert grounds one foul, and it's 0-2.
I don't know what to think about it, to be honest with you.
Well,
would Lindor have been out? Did the second baseman come off the bag on the?
Well, he was called safe, right? Now, if he had slid, I don't know if he would have been safe, but he was safe as the play was called by the second base umpire. Robert takes a call third strike to end the inning. Mack throwing down to Sanoha wasn't anywhere near the bag, but the inning's over anyway. A bizarre inning.
Is he? Oh, he's out.
He's out.
He's out. He's out.
That's the other thing. It was a bad call.
Good. What a
What a strange play.
Oh, gosh.
We go to the 5th inning. Mets and Marlins no score. Very strange play in that last inning. And as it turned out, Lindor probably should have been out at second anyway. But can you explain why they're teaching players to run through the second base bag?
Well, you know, when they run, when you're running down to first to beat a ball out, watch the play first. He caught it before Lindor got there, so he should have been out on the force. So that's the first miss. The second, they're teaching the runners to best way to beat that ball to second base is to run like you run through first. Don't slide, run right through it, especially nowadays where taking out the infielder is not in play or not part of the game. If you get past the base, usually I see that happen when there's a guy on third and there's two outs.
Right.
So even though you're out in the outfield, the rundown produces the run scoring. I don't think that was the opportunity to try to run through the bag.
My feeling is this: the ball was hitting the hole. Lindor sees it running to second base. He sees the bobble. Once it's the bobble coming out of the glove, they're not going to turn two. It's a long throw to second base. There's no way, I don't care if you got a truck horse running to first base, that they're going to turn two. So it's the judgment of Lindor as the lead base runner to slide and get in. And I think if he slides, he's safe.
Yeah.
Although he was out running through the bag, so the likelihood he would have been out sliding into the bag too.
Anyway, it's just something that the game's over 100 years old, and they've masterminded another one.
Where I've seen that play, first and third, Garrett. So you're first and third, and there's two outs.
Right.
So that play happens exactly like it did. So Lindor runs through the
And
bag,
then they have
trying
to chase him.
And now he's out in the outfield. Okay, he's safe. He's out in the outfield. They tag him out. What happens? The run scores.
Right.
So that's a play.
Yes.
That is not a play. That's
no, agreed.
Nonsensical.
So a leadoff walk, first one given up by Senga, who had thrown just 33 pitches in 4 innings. And now facing Heriberto Hernandez, who struck out his first time up. You know, they always say you're going to see something you haven't seen before.
Always.
Especially in today's game.
That's why we love it up here.
Well, Keith doesn't seem to love it not quite so much, but, you know, still.
He has a love. He's just
What? What am I?
He's a throwback. That's what you are. You're, you know, you're a man of your age.
Well,
and when I say age,
am.
I don't mean your age, but the age you live in, the age where you were in your prime and where you thrived.
Yeah, but you can play on my lawn anytime you want. I'm not one of those get off my lawn guys.
How about if we get near your roses?
Well,
it stops there.
If we're near the pergola, I think it might be electrified. 1-2 coming, and that one bounces away from Alvarez, and down to second base goes Konine.
That's a tough one right there. Keep that in front. He did everything he could.
This officially this year is the wildest pitch that you'll see. This ball hit about 5 feet in front of the plate. In fact, the umpire, Brendan Miller's out there kind of smoothing it over because it caused a dent.
Wow, that is like 10 feet in front of home plate.
Not often that the ball comes up and hits you in the mask like that. Check your teeth.
That's why they teach you, the catchers, when you go down on your knees, keep your head down, your neck, your chin down, because that protects that neck area.
So a runner in scoring position for the Marlins. Hernandez struck out his first time up. Jacob Marcy on deck. The first 15,000 fans at Sunday's game against the Marlins will receive a 1986 retro jersey complete with racing stripes. Compliments of Cannon. For tickets, go to Mets.com/tickets. You guys probably liked the racing stripes when you had them.
I did not.
No, it was in the history of this franchise, it might be the worst uniform they've ever had.
And I didn't like the script writing on me on the road.
Right, the road one was terrible.
Yeah.
But the racing stripes were very much, speaking of a man of your age, they're very much of their time, of the go-go 80s.
Speed racer.
At least we had a belt and not the Sansa belt slacks like a lot of teams had. The Pirates, Cardinals even had that, right? No belt. You guys had the kind of a elastic pants.
Yes, they had the polyester pants that never breathed. And you just sweat through them. Gosh, the V-neck,
pull over top, no buttons.
You know what? But it's a pain in the neck to do the buttons on a course of 162. I didn't mind that.
And the forkball is down for ball 4. And so 2 walks in a row by Senga. Put the first 2 men on in the 5th. National League Wild Card standings brought to you by Resorts World New York City. Diamondbacks and Phillies tied for that second wild card. Cubs lost this afternoon to the Yankees, shut out 2-0 behind Will Warren. So who's going to buy and who's going to sell among that group? Xavier Curry, who just rejoined the team today, is up in the bullpen. Going to get a visit to the mound by Andy Green with the translator. 45 pitches now for Sanger. Remember, he hasn't pitched in 13 days, and he hasn't started a game in 5 weeks. So he's not exactly built up to go deep.
There was a lot of, are you good? Are you sure? You're good. Okay. End of meeting.
Interesting that it was the manager and not the pitching coach.
Yeah, it was.
Remember now, last night in the first inning, Clayton McCullough sacrifice bunt to the second batter leading off the first inning, and he's got first and second, nobody out there.
Well, Jacob Marcy's had a rough year, but he homered last night.
Yep.
That's going to keep the corners in against the threat of the bunt.
Well, you got to respect it, but it's not the second place hitter, it's your 7th hitter.
Marcy's home run last night was his 6th of the year. Sitting under 200, but 254 with runners in scoring position. And he does square.
Yep.
And takes a cutter low for ball 1.
Yep.
Swinging on a 3-0 pitch last night to tie up the game against Nolan McLean.
Now, if you're pitching in this situation and you just saw the bunt, you anticipate the bunt here. If you get it, you're looking to get out at third. You don't have a ton of speed at second base.
I like 1-0 changing and let him get a pitch to hit. Let him swing the bat.
And he bunts it, trying to get it toward third, but it's fouled. 1-1.
So even when you're pitching and you're trying to get a hitter out, you are like the rest of the infielders thinking about the situation. What if the ball's bunted back at me?
So as a pitcher, are you conscious of breaking toward the third baseline after you deliver the ball?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you work on. Well, I did, working in the bullpen, of the ability to throw a sinking fastball on the outside part and getting yourself the momentum towards third. Not running towards there, the momentum going there.
And he was ready to swing, but took the fastball outside, and it's 2-1.
You got to complete the pitch first, because you knew when I played, Keith had behind you. Anything behind you, he had.
Well, bunt was off on 2-0. On a 1-1. Now it's 2-1. And it's pulled down to first, past Young into right field, a base hit. Conine's being waved around third. They'll come in to score. The throw goes to second. It's cut off. And the relay by Beatty to Lindor is too late. And Marcy has an RBI double.
What's Marcy trying to take 2 for?
And Mets will not challenge the call at second. So it's an RBI double for Marcy. 1-0 Miami.
Young was playing in and moved back when Senga went. You can see he's behind the runner now, but that ball's hit too hard.
Can I ask you why Beatty cut this off?
That's my question. That ball looked like it was on line. They might have had him.
Lindor thought they had a chance at him, but he got in there.
He beat it.
Slid across the bag. That might have been it.
Well, that's going to be all for Senga, who was brilliant for the first 4 innings, but hit a wall here in the 5th. Xavier Curry coming in. We'll be right back. Xavier Curry turned 28 years old earlier this week. His first outing for the Mets in 11 days. Called up today when the Mets had 2 holes in their bullpen with A.J. Minter traded to Minnesota and Cianel Perez going on the injured list. The run is in, second and third, nobody out. Joe Mack, the batter. He had to double his first time up. And takes first curveball for a strike. 0-1. Mets have the infield in. Hernandez at third, Marcy at second with nobody out. And that's lined the other way. That'll be down for a base hit. Hernandez is in. Marcy trying to score. The throw by Ewing on a hop, not in time. Joe Mack drives in a pair, and it's 3-0 Miami.
That was a heck of a read by Marcy.
Up and away. Look at him go right with it. Not trying to pull. Blake Lally, the third base coach, never hesitates. Challenging the throw. Nice slide. Good pop-up slide by Marcy.
All 3 runs in the inning charged to Kodai Senga. So what was a great beginning for Senga melts here in the 5th. He goes 4 innings plus, allows 3 runs, 2 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts.
Well, no doubt no one's going to catch that off the bat. Nice turn for home.
Sanoha hits one back to Curry. He drops it though and has to settle for the out at first. He would have had a good chance at a double play, but the ball slipped out of his glove. He gets the first out, but Mack advances to second.
He got a little anxious there and trying to turn it as quick as he could. And his anxiety and the transfer lost it, but got an out at first.
So 1 away now. Liam Hicks, and he takes curveball high for ball 1. Hicks is fly to left, fly to center, 0 for 2 after 2 hits last night. And Hicks flies one out to right center. Robert and Benj come together, and Robert makes the catch for the second out. The Mets bullpen came into the night working on a string of 20 1/3 consecutive scoreless innings. Curry allowed 2 inherited runners to score, but none against his ledger so far. Of course, the makeup of the Mets bullpen is likely to change drastically over the next few days. Minter gone to Minnesota in exchange for 2 prospects, including Benny Agbayani's son.
Yeah, no, how great is that? Bruin. What a name.
Just 19 years old. Actually, Bruin is an infielder, a left-hand batter, so he's everything his father wasn't.
Yeah.
And but he's been hurt most of the year with a shoulder injury. The other player the Mets got, Billy Amick, a 23-year-old slugging first base DH type from the University of Tennessee. Fly ball shallow right center, angling on it is Robert, and he slides, can't make the catch. It's a base hit for Edwards to bring home Mack with the 4th run of the inning. The ball was in the air a long time, but Robert and Benj had too far to go.
That was a lot of hang time.
So much for the bullpen shutout streak.
Yeah, gone. Done.
Barely mentioned it before it was gone with the win.
Well, we wish Bruin well. It's going to be great. I mean, Flushing's like the 9th island for Hawaii. Hawaiians love playing in Flushing.
Now, Benny said he wants to see Bruin wearing number 50 in a Mets uniform. There goes Edwards. The throw by Alvarez is right on the money, and he got him. Beautiful throw by Alvarez to gun down Edwards for the 3rd out. 2-4 on the caught stealing, but a productive inning for the Marlins as they score 4. Halfway through, 4-0. We go to the bottom of the fifth. Mets down 4-0. Jansen Jung supplied with the lead after working out of a jam in the fourth. Mets will have Jared Young leading off. Young grounded out to short his first time up. And he pops the first one up into shallow left. And on comes Hernandez, the one-handed. One pitch, one out. Well, the Marlins have had a habit of spoiling the Mets' postseason chances. 2007, the Mets went 7-17 down the stretch, and well, the Marlins had the final blow after John Main's brilliant game on the Saturday.
Right.
Marlins bombarded Tom Glavine on the Sunday. 2008, pretty similar. The Saturday, Johan Santana went out there and threw a complete game. But then in the last game at Shea Stadium on September 28th, 2008.
Which was the year, Gare, that they took over for the '64 Phillies for the worst collapse? Was that 7?
That was 07.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
And then last year, the Mets fell slowly over the final 3.5 months, and it was the Marlins who did the last damage.
Pete hit that line drive right to left center field that was snagged
by Sanoha,
and that was the last roar for. Well, it was stifled roar.
Well, right as we went to the 9th inning, the Reds had lost their game,
right,
and so the Mets finally knew that they were going to have a chance, but they were down by 4 runs and couldn't get anything going in the 9th.
I remember the 08 season only because when it left the bat of Ryan Church, I thought it had a chance, and it was, a deep fly to right center that stayed in the ballpark.
Well, I'll tell you about the 07 last game of the season. Glavine had the terrible first inning, fell behind, was it 7-0? But then the Mets loaded the bases in the bottom of the first, and Ramon Castro hit a ball that I thought was certain to be a grand slam. But it died on the warning track, and that was basically that.
They were building the stadium, City Field, and you could see it over the left center field fence, and it did affect as it was going up the wind. And that wind was blew in from left field that day hard and knocked down Ramon's, which I thought, Gary, too, was a home run, grand slam.
Did you bring that up with Danny Sessa?
No, are you kidding? No.
He knows people.
Well, the Marlins did the Mets in both of those years, in 07 and 08. Broken bat grounder, an easy play for Edwards to throw out Beatty 2 away. But the Saturday games in both those seasons were 2 of the best clutch pitching performances the Mets have ever had.
What did Maine have? 14 punch-outs that day?
He took a no-hitter into the 8th.
Yes.
Paul Hoover hit a little topper toward third.
It's a catcher, right?
Yeah. And then Santana, pitching on a bad knee on 3 days rest, goes out there and throws a shutout.
What a warrior he was.
He was a lion. He's such a gentleman, too. I ran into him at that Fanatics, whatever it was, convention, card show, whatever you want to call it, down at Javits Center 2 weeks ago, and had a conversation with him. He was just so genuinely happy to see me. I hadn't seen him in a while.
Yeah.
Just a wonderful man.
Jorge Polanco struck out his first time up. I mean, there were sports personalities of every ilk at that.
Yes, there was.
Sports legends, sports commentators,
rabble rousers.
Yep, there were some well-known media members there, and then there was some hacks.
Well, in an interview format, you just never know what's going to happen, what questions might be posed. Polanco grounds one down to first, and it trickles right by Stowers. The easiest play in the world. And Stowers muffs it, and the Mets have a 2-out base runner.
No one wants to do this. He was just kind of running over there to go to the bag before he secured the ball.
And just very awkward, too. He's not in a position.
I mean, we're celebrating the '86 team tomorrow, and a little roller up along first just got away from the first baseman.
Behind the bag.
I mean, come on.
Behind the bag.
Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
You're going to need a few more base runners here to replicate.
Hopefully I counted correctly, but I think Vin Scully used 20 words in that description of that play.
Yep.
And then laid out for,
Yes, he
I
did.
don't know how long, but it was a long time.
Yes, he did.
And then when he came back from allowing the crowd and the celebration to speak for itself, he said, if a picture is worth 1,000 words, you just saw a million.
Yes. Wow. So good.
Interesting. Ray Knight hurt his back of jumping on home plate when he scored, and he was concerned if it was going to take him out of. Ray wasn't going to miss Game 7.
Yeah, he had a pretty big hit in Game 7, as I recall.
Sure did. MVP of the World Series. And he said, I've read the article, the off day really helped him. That he got well.
Rain out.
Yes, right.
Wound up playing the last game on a Monday night while the Giants were playing in the Meadowlands. And everybody who was at the Meadowlands that night said it was the strangest atmosphere because people were cheering for things that had nothing to do with the football game. And ball 4, and Alvarez has been throwing a lot more walks lately. That's 6 in his last 5 games.
There's a pitch right there where you can challenge if you're the catcher.
So now the Mets have 2 men on, and A.J. Ewing coming up. Pitching coach Daniel Moscos on his way to the mound.
And the pitch by Stanley, and a ground ball trickling. It is a fair ball. Hit by Buckner. Rounding third Knight. The Mets will win the ball game. The Mets win.
That, of course, was Bob Murphy's call. And right after Murph made that call, Gary Thorne, who was his partner, said, the Red Sox are in stunned disbelief.
Oh, really? I don't remember that call.
I mean, it was as that inning was progressing that the sign flashed on the Shea Stadium scoreboard. Congratulations, Boston Red Sox.
Yes.
Somebody hit the switch too fast. But maybe that doomed the whole enterprise. 2 on and 2 out for Ewing, who's 0 for 2 tonight. And he lines one into center field for a base hit. Polanco turns third. He'll come in with the first Met run. A.J. Ewing wasting no time. An RBI single to get the Mets on the board. It's 4-1.
Well, Junk should have been in the dugout.
Well, Keith, junk happens.
Jumping on the first pitch fastball.
So that gets the tying run to bat with Francisco Lindor, who has struck out and walked.
Ewing has hit 3 bullets. Opened the game, the line drive to right field, the line drive to center field on the first pitch, and finally rewarded there on the first pitch base hit.
Third time through the order against Junk. Lindor lays off the slider. 2-0. Bullpen starts cranking for the Marlins. Junk went just 4 2/3 his last outing against the Padres on Sunday. Cade Gibson, first man up in the bullpen.
And he only gave up a run in 4 2/3.
Spins a curveball in for a strike.
But his previous 6 starts before that, his ERA was almost 8.
Two out and nobody on. A slow ground ball that Stowers kicks. A walk and a base hit later, and the Mets have the tying run at bat.
Oh, cute.
Those girls are psyched.
And those are future Met fans. Mom is grooming them. There they are. Look at them. How adorable.
Mom went with the woo.
I mean,
I like that.
twins, right?
Well, they're having fun.
2 out, 2 on, 2 and 2 to Lindor. And he launches one into right for a base hit. Alvarez to third. He'll be held up there as Conine throws it into the plate. And the Mets have the bases loaded for Bichette.
Boy, oh boy, you should be in the dugout with no runs, and now you're got to dig deep.
Well, you should be in the dugout, but you know you're supposed to also pick up your fielders, and that changeup just lingered right in the middle of the plate. A little more on edge there. Conine got to that ball quicker and was ready to throw.
Really got rid of it in a hurry, which affected Tim Leeper's call to stop Alvarez. So now Bichette, with the tying runs on base, takes the slider out of the strike zone for ball 1.
Always love to get ahead with the bases loaded, to get ahead of 1-0 on that first pitch. Have the pitcher miss, and particularly miss with a breaking ball.
Alvarez at third, Ewing at second, Lindor at first. And Bichette takes the fastball that just missed. 2-0.
At the home plate has tightened up a little bit for Brendan Miller, the home plate umpire.
Bichette is a lifetime .333 hitter with the bases loaded. He already has a grand slam this season.
And what pitch does he hit for power? He throws him that little slider. Watch out.
The outfield, as they generally do for the Marlins, playing very deep. Jumped behind 2-0. And he hits the little breaking ball, a pop up into shallow right, and back goes Edwards to get it, and that retires the side. Mets get an unearned run, but they leave 3. 4-1 Marlins after 5. Hyundai in-game box score for the Marlins. They got all 4 of their runs in the 5th inning. 3 to Kodai Senga, 1 to Xavier Curry. Going back with a 2-run single that greeted Curry when he came in the 5th. Bichette popping up with the bases loaded to end the 5th inning.
A little momentum though, so Curry needs to throw a 0 up there, get him back in the dugout.
3, 4, and 5 hitters for the Marlins. Lopez, Stowers, and Conine against Curry, who got the last 2 outs in the 5th, but allowed 2 inherited runners to score and 1 of his own. Lopez is at one of the warning track in center and lined out to left, so 2 well hit balls with no result for the second leading hitter in the National League. And he takes a curveball for a strike. Lopez came into the night hitting .325, second to Luis Ariz, leading the league in base hits, tied for the league lead in doubles, tied for second in triples.
He's hit the ball hard twice tonight.
Well, he's the only hitter in the National League East hitting over 300 among qualifiers. I mean, it's a guy who last year hit .246. And he's hitting .325.
I mean, and at times this year hitting 100 points over that number from last year.
Curry goes away with a splitter. 2 balls and a strike. Kodai Senga went 4 innings plus, 3 runs, 2 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts in his first outing in 13 days and his first start in 5 weeks. And the curveball, and he held the swing in time. 3-1. Phillies have begun a series in Baltimore tonight. They lead 4-2 in the 6th. That's hit out to left field, and Ewing stands his ground. Doesn't move an inch and makes the catch. That is Andrew Painter pitching for the Phillies tonight. They brought him back from the minor leagues. They badly need somebody to fill a spot at the back of their rotation. Certainly the Phillies are in the trade market for a starter and for relief help. Bryce Harper even said publicly this week, we need help. Dave Dombrowski and Don Mattingly were not happy with that.
No.
But
I read the quote. There was nothing wrong with what he said.
Well, what Mattingly said was, when you say that we need help, you're dissing the people in this room.
I think that's okay. Sure. He's asked the question, and he said everybody needs help. You know, that the quote is.
Stowers flies one deep to right center. Robert back near the wall, and it's out of here. Kyle Stowers unloads his second home run in the series, his 16th of the year. And it's 5-1 Miami.
Wow. I thought he got under that, and that was going to be an F8. That is one strong man.
Always beware of the player that made an error the inning before.
417 feet worth of home run for Stowers.
He's got a home run swing. He's got an uppercut. And you can see that is a serious uppercut. That's a hanger. And he just jumped on it.
His swing reminds me of a AL MVP Justin Morneau a little bit when I watch him. Just a big man.
You know, so getting back to Harper, Gare, I just, you know, you read the quote, yeah, we need help, but you read the entire interview and his entire quote, he's saying everybody needs help. So I don't think it's dishing your teammates. I don't think it was anything terrible that he said. I'm a little surprised that they jumped on.
Hit hard, a base hit for Conine.
Well, what makes it interesting is Don's son is in the front office. Right. So that adds a little spice to it.
And you had the off-season quotes from Dombrowski, basically saying that, you know, Bryce may not be a superstar.
There's a little bit of animosity between Dombrowski and Harper, so I read.
But, you know, to get back to Painter, Gary gave this number many times when we were in Philadelphia. The big three starters, they're 43 and 18, 14 and 34 with any of the other starters. Right. So need some help at the bottom of that rotation.
Painter's still in there in the 6th inning, so that's a good sign, too. Well, Curry's now given up 4 hits to the first 7 batters he's faced. Stowers has gotten into one of those home run grooves, which he had a lot of last year. Now 4 homers in his last 6 games. And you know how it goes for home run hitters. They tend to come in bunches. He had a huge year last year coming over from Baltimore. 25 home runs. OPS over 900 last year. Hernandez bounces one foul. 1-2. Last time Xavier Curry pitched for the Mets in Milwaukee, they ran him out for 2 2/3, and it got optioned out the next day. And a high breaking ball strikes out Hernandez. That's his first strikeout, 2 out of the inning.
Jeez.
I mean, here's the thing. In the graphic, the car skids to a stop and is undamaged. But then we hear the sound of a crash, which apparently occurs off screen.
Now, I realize that when you're doing advertising, you want to get the public's attention, but that startled me.
Well, the first time that we ran it, we felt as though the audio was not quite as intrusive as it should have been.
So we're taking it to the next level.
So we asked the truck to turn it up to give Salino their full money's worth.
Proper.
Yeah. Because when we try to enhance the advertiser's spot, it gives them more value.
Yes, it does.
Now, some advertisers don't necessarily appreciate that. See, it lands right on its wheels, and then where's the crash?
I don't know if I can drive home tonight.
I mean, I would say that the anti-lock brakes on that car worked extraordinarily well to have it pull up the way it did.
You asked them to turn the volume up?
Oh, yeah. Don't you think that was a good
You didn't
move?
go through me, ask my how I felt about it?
Here's the way you need to look at it. If Salino doubles their advertising budget next year because we enhance their spot, maybe that some of that winds up in your pocket.
I know, but we've used poetic license before.
Yes,
it's backfired on us.
It has not always worked.
So now we're just using the audio enhancements instead, so we don't say anything.
Unfortunately, though, we just did.
Again.
3-1 to Marcy, and he drives one out to center, and Robert is there, and that retires the side. But Stowers' home run extends the Marlins lead. It's 5-1 Miami. So
5-1 Marlins as we enter the bottom of the 6th inning. New pitcher for Miami is Cade. He will face off against Carson Benj to lead off this half of the inning. And, guys, we've talked a lot recently about how good Carson Benj has got in terms of hitting that high fastball, that high pitch. But what impresses his coaches the most is how he's making in-at-bat adjustments to get to that pitch. So Benj has a swing that allows him, when it's right, to get to the high pitch, but sometimes has a tendency to drop his back elbow and get underneath things. And once we get through this pitch, we're going to show you some side-by-side footage of last night's at-bat in the 8th inning. So this is the first pitch of the at-bat. You see how that elbow is dropped and Benj is below that pitch. Ultimately, he makes the adjustment, and the last pitch of the at-bat keeps the elbow up, keeps the bat level, and drives the pitch the other way. He's done that actually in 2 consecutive days, and that is what the coaches are pointing to as the area of growth with Benj, is the ability to recognize mid-at-bat what he is doing wrong and adjust on the fly.
That second pitch, Steve, was up in the strike zone, which I think he
has another base hit. It's second of the night. Got right on that sweeper and pulled it into right for a leadoff single.
This is the pitch right here. It stays in. He hits left-handers. He's hit lefties all year. He hangs in there. Okay, that pitch is low, a little below the belt, and then this one is up in the strike zone, which, with his swing, how he gets on top, he does it. I don't know how he does it, but I wouldn't change a thing with him. It's what got him here, and there's been a lot of guys that have had great success with unorthodox swings. And his swing is not that unorthodox, but I just think it just amazes to me that he can get on top of that high ball with as consistently as he has this year. He has that ability.
Yeah, the coaches say, Keith, that even though the swing kind of looks like it's a little long at times, it actually is very, very short when he's on his game. And he just has this innate ability to barrel up pitches anywhere in the zone. That's always been his superpower. And so, again, from their point of view, definitely not trying to change anything, but they've really been impressed by the fact that he's able to make on-the-fly adjustments. When he feels he's underneath it, he just thinks, get on top of the ball, get on top of the ball, and can then do that.
It's been his rookie year, and he has remained consistent. He hasn't gone into really any real deep tailspin or slump. He's been really consistent, and that's impressed me.
Yeah,
Just
after that
beginning of the year,
after that first month.
Yeah, right. He struggled the first month, but that's getting your feet wet, and the fact that he pushed through that, where emotionally you can crumble.
It says a lot about him.
It says a lot
Yes, it
about
does.
his mental strength.
When I see that bat angle occasionally that we showed there, looks Freddie Freeman-like, right? When he has that bat angle on the ball down.
Yes. Freddie actually sometimes hits the ball when it's like a hockey, where his bat is completely vertical on a low pitch. I don't know how the heck he does it.
Bat the ball skills, right?
Yep.
Luis Roberts struck out for a third time tonight. Jared Young at the plate with 1 out and 1 on. Young is 0 for 2, grounded out and flied out against Jansen Junk, who allowed just an unearned run in 5 innings. Ground ball toward the hole. That's a base hit for Young. So the 2 left-hand hitters, both with base hits against the lefty Gibson. Now the Mets up 2 men on.
It's good to see Young go after that pitch away. Remember, he went through a little stretch against left-hand. He hasn't played that much against lefties, so it's difficult when you don't get the reps up there against them.
Now Marcus Semien will bat for Brett Beatty. Semien started last night, went 1 for 3, 5 hits in his last 13 at bats with a couple of home runs in that stretch. It's left them loaded in the 5th against Junk, and now they've got 2 on with 1 out against Gibson.
The Mets under Andy Green have become more platoon oriented later middle of the games.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
You're in an inning where a lefty comes in the game and gives up 2 hits to left-hand batters. Does that change your mind as a manager as you're thinking about getting the platoon advantage? Blake McCullers on his way out to the mound. He's going to bring in the right-hander Fauché.
I think it depends on your personnel. Who the hitter is, Garrett, can vary.
Fauché coming in, 5-1 Marlins. Mets threatening in the 6th. The passion never wanes, even when they're rowing. Calvin Fauché in to face Marcus Semien.
Well, Fauché's in. He's got a good cutter. He gets a lot of ground balls off that cutter, and that's why he's in this ball game with runners on first and second.
We've talked a lot the last couple of weeks about Semien coming back from the injured list and now being a not everyday player. Do you know that before this season he had gone 11 years since his last pinch hitting appearance?
Wow.
Well, that's what happens when you play every day, I guess.
I mean, he didn't only play every day. He led the league in plate appearances every year.
Plus, he was over in an American League with the DH as well.
Well, we have that here too now.
Well, of late.
1 and 2 to Semien. Marcus had 3 pinch hit at bats in 2014, 7 in 2015, and then none until 2026. Bench at second, Young at first with 1 out. Semien takes that one low and away. Good backhand stop by Mack, 2 and 2. So all that having been said, Marcus in his career as a pinch hitter, 6 hits and 11 at bats.
Whoa.
It's good, right?
Yeah.
He would be a good pinch hitter because he's got a compact swing, a quick bat.
Also had a home run coming off the bench in a non-pinch hitting situation earlier on the homestand, but he goes down swinging on the sweeper from Fauché. And that's the 2nd out.
Fauché's got a good cutter. He throws it about 3/4, and that started right on the inside corner and ended up off the outside corner for the strikeout.
So 2 out and 2 on. Now Jorge Polanco, who scored the only Met run in the 5th inning after reaching on an error. Trying to snap an 0 for 21 stretch here with 2 out and 2 on. Fauché misses away with a sinker for ball 1. Polanco 0 for 2 in his career against Fauché, who began his career at Tampa Bay, now in his 3rd year with the Marlins. Sliced foul. 1-1 to Polanco. And he takes that cutter on the outside corner for a strike, and it's 1-2. That's a good pitch.
Yes, it is. Never looks like a strike to the left-handed hitter.
Polanco takes the curveball away, 2-2.
I always thought the master of that pitch was Roy Halladay in his prime, or at least when he was pitching for the Phillies. Anytime he wanted that against a lefty, he could throw it.
Maddox.
Maddox added 2.
2-2. Away. Full count. Keith talks all the time about that Montreal staff, Charlie Lee and those guys.
Oh yeah, they were all cut. And Gary Carter was the catcher calling that aggressive game. They had a bullpen too.
Benjamin Young gets set to run. 3-2 to Polanco, and he goes down swinging on the fastball. So Fauché comes in with back-to-back strikeouts to strand a pair in the 6th. Still 5-1 Miami. The hunt is on. Be one of the first 15,000 fans at the game against the Nationals on Saturday, August 15th, and get a K-Pop Demon Hunters jersey.
Ooh.
Get your tickets now at Mets.com/tickets. I have no idea what I just said.
Yeah.
Do you know?
I do know. I do know. It's very contentious in our house.
Yeah.
You know,
go ahead.
They're not of age to watch the K-Pop Demon Hunters yet.
But they'd like to.
They would love to.
You know,
but they'll have the shirt.
I recall something similar when my kids were young with the Power Rangers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They had
What was wrong with the Power Rangers? Just the battle and the fighting?
a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit violent. Joe Max had a good day with a double and a 2-run single. Xavier Curry has already worked 2 innings in relief. And now asked to go a third, and there's nobody up behind him. And Mac pops one up. Marcus Semien, who just pinch hit and stayed in at second base, gets his first chance. 1 away. So they're having a wild game in Cincinnati. Pirates and Reds. Pirates were up 2-0. Reds tied it. Pirates were up 3-2. Reds tied it. Went ahead 5-3. Pirates got a run in the 5th, 3 in the 8th to go ahead 7-5. And the Reds got 3 in the bottom of the 8th to go up 8-7. Every game precious for Pittsburgh right now. That's drilled toward the left field corner by Sanoha, and it bounces up against the wall. Here comes Ewing's throw to second base, and Sanoha slides in safely. So Javier Sanoha with his first hit in the series, a ringing double.
Fastball in. He turns on it.
Talking about that Cincinnati Pittsburgh game, I got a stat for you.
Are the Mets challenging the call at second?
You know what happened is that if they are, Sanoha styled, and when he slid into second, he popped up off the bag like ta-da. And if he did that, maybe Semien stayed on with the tag.
Andy Fletcher and James Hoy are the crew chiefs in the replay center.
Watch this. So he slides in and he gives a little style coming up off the bag.
Oh, how about that?
He got back.
Oh, I don't know. He was definitely off the bag. The question is whether Simeon got the tag on him in time.
Yeah, I saw it and I was like, uh-oh, you can't do this anymore. Oh, he might have got that back of that knee. Oh, jeez. This is not going to be good for him.
It's supposed to be a pop-up slide, not a pop-off slide.
Pop off to the dugout. I was saying about the Bucks.
After review, calls overturned, runners out.
Not good.
So scoring a single and then 7-4 on the putout, and a little embarrassing for Senior Sanoja. I mean, Ewing played that ball perfectly coming off the wall, and that is the only way that play was possible.
Yeah, he didn't take anything for granted. And I do have to say, Sanoja hustled out of the box and all the way there for the double. So it was just a stylistic slide. That's all.
Third outfield assist for Ewing this year.
Simeon kept the tag on him.
Hicks grounds one on the right side, and Simeon shuffles over, and that retires the side. 7th inning stretch time. 5-1 Miami. Spider-Man, Spider-Man. A lot of Spideys in the ballpark tonight. Hyundai Mets in-game box score: 5 hits, 2 of them for Carson Benj. It's got an unearned run in the 5th. That's all. They've left 7 runners on base over the last 3 innings, and they'll try and get it restarted in the 7th. I mean, that's like an alternate Spidey.
Yes.
Right? Black and white.
It's the Saturday jerseys. City Connect.
What is that? It's like Nacho Libre.
Yes.
Francisco Alvarez walked his last time up. 0 for 1 on the night. And Calvin Fauché, who got the last 2 outs in the 6th. This is low and away for ball 1. We were talking before about the Guardians, whom the Mets will play starting on Tuesday night in Cleveland, and how they're low scoring, but their pitching's been really good. Well, case in point tonight, they're up 1-0 on the Diamondbacks in the 8th, behind Tanner Bybee, who's allowed just 2 hits through 7. Alvarez has been so much more patient on this homestand. Flies that one toward the right field line. Conine coming over, checking on the sidewall, and he can't make the play. He checked it a couple of times, but could not quite get his glove there.
I think he ran into the railing there, didn't he? The railing kind of stopped his glove from extending. No, he just didn't get there.
Just a little tardy. Nice effort.
So Alvarez back at the plate with a 2-2 count. And Fauché gets him chasing. 3 batters, 3 strikeouts for Fauché, 1 down in the home 7th.
He likes that slider.
So 1 out and nobody on. Now A.J. Ewing, who has the only RBI for the Mets tonight, single to center in the 5th.
He's had 3 good at bats, only 1 hit to show for it.
He takes a sweeper for a strike. Jansen Junk went the first 5 for Miami, gave up an unearned run on 3 hits. Cade Gibson gave up 2 hits in a third of an inning, but Fauché came in to put down the threat.
Ooh, Baltimore came back on Philly. 4-4 in the 7th.
Pete Alonso has a home run in that game. Pete's got 23 this year. He's at 11 to right field.
He's got what, almost 70 RBI now.
You know, that ballpark They've changed it back, of course, but not what it like it used to be. So right center is where it really travels.
Right. It was very tight in left. Then they moved the fence way back, and then they moved it back in last year. And he got him looking. Backdooring that curveball, and Ewing is out on strikes, and Fauché has struck out his first 4. Reds wound up winning that game 8-7 over the Pirates. That's 4 straight losses for Pittsburgh. Now 3 games behind in the wild card, and you have to wonder, with Paul Skeens struggling right now, are they going to beef up at the deadline?
Before this start tonight, his last 13 starts, he's 3-7 with a 4.84 ERA, and that might have went up today.
Yeah.
He was hit around again.
Skeens tonight, 4 innings, 5 runs, 7 hits, up to 3.90 for the year. He was the odds-on favorite for the Cy Young coming into the season.
Baseball's a funny game.
After the game tonight here on Pix 11, it's New York Nightcap presented by Nissan. Figgy and Joe Masseri will have all the latest news from around the New York sports scene.
Just when you got this game figured out, it throws a haymaker at you.
1-2 to Lindor, and he pounds that one into the ground. The Reds winning that game tonight. Last night, Ellie De La Cruz, 3 extra base hits, 2 stolen bases. Last Red to do that in one game, 1898.
Oh,
Wow. I was going to say Joe Morgan must have done that.
Garrick Davis. I mean, there are a lot of candidates for that.
Ken Griffey could have done it for. He's a heck of a player.
He steal a lot of bases. Griffey Sr.
He was hitting that 2-hole. I mean, they let Pete off. Griffey hit second. Morgan hit third. Bench hit 4. Foster hit 5. Perez hit 6. Concepcion 7, and Geronimo 8.
Quite a lineup. That's why they call it the Big Red Machine.
Yes, sir.
And Lindor just got a piece of that to stay in the at bat.
It's outstanding recall, Keith. So whenever you feel like maybe it's slipping, we'll just quiz you on the Cincinnati Reds in the late 70s.
Well, the Reds are a team you don't forget.
62 Giants. He's really good at those.
Chuck Hiller, second base.
Jim Davenport.
Jose Pagan played short. Cepeda at first. McCovey in left.
How about that?
Felipe Alou in right.
And some guy named Mays in center.
Yep.
I didn't even know McCovey played left. How about
Came up and that's why they traded. He was in left field.
Was Tom Howler up then, or
it might have been Ed Bailey.
Ed Bailey, Big Ed Bailey.
Yep.
come home?
That's one of Bob Murphy's all-time calls. Ed Bailey was catching. Maybe for the Braves at that time, maybe the Reds.
Yeah, he was a Brave.
Yeah, and there was a collision at home plate, and there was a fight, and Murph goes, "We've got a real Pier 6 brawl going." With Big Ed Bailey. You know, Murph was a Marine.
Yeah.
He knew all about Pier 6 brawls. Ninth pitch to Lindor, and he cranks one to deep right field. Forget that. That is way out of here into the second deck. Lindor with a long at bat that results in his 9th home run of the year and gets the Mets a little closer. His 150th home run as a Met moves past Carlos Beltran into 7th on the all-time Mets home run list.
I mean, he fouled off so many tough breaking balls until he got a hanger.
Yep.
Oh, had it. Couldn't hold it. Lindor hits his 9th of the year. 5-2 Miami. Pitching change. Former Met Tyler Zuber coming in for the Marlins. We'll be right back. Last year, Tyler Zuber was one of the 46 pitchers who worked for the Mets. He worked one game as a Met before going to Miami. This was Cleve McCullough talking to Calvin Fauché as he took him out of the game.
Yeah, we need Mr. John Boy to read lips there, but I don't know. He's pitched 5 times in the last 8 days, so maybe just some appreciative words from his manager. That's all I can guess.
He's a veteran pitcher. It's a rookie.
Threw 29 pitches over an inning and a third, struck out 4, and they gave up the home run to Lindor. Now Bichette, who's 0 for 3, and he chases a sweeper from Zuber, and it's 0-2. Lindor's 9-pitch at bat home run, second most pitches he's ever seen before hitting a home run. He had an 11-pitch home run in 2024. Slash foul by Bichette. Marlins 5 runs, 7 hits. The Mets 2 runs and 6 hits. Bichette batting with 2 out and nobody on after the Lindor home run. Zuber sweeps one outside. It's 1-2. One, 2 coming, and he foul tipped it for strike 3. So Zuber comes in to strike out Bichette. Lindor's home run gets the Mets a little closer. Almost had it.
Oh, stone hands.
5-2 after 7. We go to the 8th inning. Xavier Curry's already worked 3 innings in relief of Kodai Senga, and guess what? He's out there for a 4th.
Yeoman effort.
Xavier Edwards had an RBI single in the 5th, and Curry misses away for ball 1.
Xavier versus Xavier.
In the battle of the X's, Edwards pops one up. On comes Ewing, and he makes the tumbling grab. He came a long way to get that ball, and nobody else was going to be able to get there.
The more I see him, whether it's in center field, second base, left field, this kid could play anywhere in the diamond if you asked him. Just a ball player.
Nice play.
He's going to have a long career here, and he's going to be a crowd favorite for a long time.
I agree. How many games did he play in AAA? 12?
12.
Oh, gee.
Yeah. I mean, he was not supposed to be here as quickly as he was, but the Mets had a need, and they judged him to be ready, and he was. Otto Lopez looking for his first hit in this series. He's gone 0 for 7, but he's hit the ball hard twice tonight.
I've sensed him getting a little frustrated. He's lost that the #1 in the batting title chase.
And that one caught Alvarez, and that stung.
He had a tough night last night at 0 for 4 that he did not look comfortable at the plate. He's hit the ball hard twice tonight.
Alvarez got this off the bare hand.
See, he's got it on his quad.
Boom. Right there on the base of the thumb.
We saw that happen to Joe Mack last night.
Well, Mack had his hand in front of him. Battered, bruised. Life of a catcher. So Andrew Painter pitched great for the Phillies. Orion Kerkering came in, gave up 4 runs.
No.
Oh, Gunnar Henderson 2-run triple to put the Orioles in front 6-4 in the 8th.
The Phillies are in the middle of it. If
Yes,
they get
they
a
are.
well-pitched game, they don't score. the middle relief or their relief has a bad game. Durant even had a bad game a couple days ago.
Well, Durant blew the game against the Marlins, the one that Miami snapped that 12-game losing streak. Right there at the base of the thumb, that is.
Gosh, he's got to get that hand behind his leg.
I mean, those games are big for Philly, but they're also big for Baltimore. They're only 2.5 out of the wild card. Chopper out to short. In comes Lindor to field and throws out Lopez 2 away.
The Mets have handled Lopez pretty well this year.
He looks a little frustrated.
This is what, the 8th game between these two clubs?
Well, they haven't handled Stowers so far in this series. He's homered in each of the first 2 games. Drove one out to right center his last time up against Curry, who misses low with a fastball. Slider, and it's 1-1. Nobody up behind him. Curry being asked to work 4 innings in relief. That's called him up today. They also called up Jonathan Pintaro. Pintaro was here as the 27th man for the doubleheader on Wednesday, and then he was sent back. That's lined down the right field line, and Stowers has another hit. Chased to the corner by Benj, and Stowers into second base with his second extra base hit of the night.
He swung the bat well.
He chokes up. He's a big, strong kid. We documented that he has a lot of swing and miss in his breaking ball, but he also has a lot of extra base hits when he does put the breaking ball in play.
So a runner at second with 2 out. Griffin Conine coming up. So Pintaro gets sent back after the day-night doubleheader. He had warmed up twice during the game, so he had 72 hours to report to the minors. He wasn't going to pitch the next day because he'd been up twice. So he stuck around and stayed in New York. He had some friends here, and he watched the game from the stands last night. And then after the game, got the phone call. Mitcher's been traded. You're back.
The pitcher's been traded, and we got a pitcher that just went on the IL.
So he never left.
Wow.
The ball's converted into the ball. New York has 1 challenge remaining.
Let's lose the challenge. So that was fortuitous, right? I mean, he could have gone all the way back to Syracuse, but he stuck around, and good things happen.
I mean, the way things have worked here, I would stick around every single time for 72 hours. Things change pretty quickly.
Oh, that was a strike that looked like a ball.
And he's going to win the challenge here. It was a ball.
The back-to-back misses. Ooh.
This is the ball by
ABS challenge presented by Nissan.
See Conine with his head went like, what are you thinking?
Conine had singled and walked tonight, 1 for 2. And he pops this one up. Could be playable for Bichette. And he's got room to make the grab, and that retires the side. Curry goes 4 innings in relief. That's down by 3. Francisco Alvarez getting some attention in the dugout after he took one off the base of his right thumb. That's come to bat in the bottom of the 8th against Tyler Zuber. Carson Bench is 2 for 3 tonight, a single and a double, and he takes a sweeper for a strike. Bench, Robert, and Young for the Mets in the 8th against Zuber, who struck out Bichette to end the 7th. Esteury Ruiz takes over in right field, replacing Conine, who made the last out. Tyler Zuber, the 4th pitcher of the night for the Marlins. 31-year-old out of Arkansas State from Whitehall, Arkansas. Not Whitehall, mind you, but Whitehall. 2 words.
Okay. Always spent every year in class in the last row.
Or at least called on last. Sometimes, though, the teacher would go backwards through the alphabet.
Oh, really?
You know, it really wasn't fair to those of us who were, you know, early in the alphabet. To always get called on.
Oh, the teacher
did?
The teacher's pets, guys.
No, it's just, you know, I'm a C, you're a D.
Yeah.
I'm an H.
Yeah, I mean,
I was.
we got called on before you did.
I hunched under my desk.
H for lunch.
Sometimes as a C or D, you could end up in the last seat of the first row, right? Because they wouldn't always go across. Sometimes the first row would go, and then they'd go to the H's.
We didn't
second
sit
row.
by name, but they tended to go down the roster calling us by name.
Oh, yes.
You know? That's lined into right center. Another hit for Benj, his 3rd of the night.
Ripped.
He is on a heater.
Fastball, belt high, out over the plate.
Again, that what Steve Gelbs was talking about before, the adjustment on the higher ball, that left elbow not tucked into his side, kind of flared so he can get to that high pitch.
So now Luis Robert, who's been up 3 times and struck out all 3. Trying to avoid the dreaded golden sombrero. He had the big hit last night in the 8th inning.
That's
a challenge by Mack, who thought that was a strike.
Oh boy, Brennan Miller, you've been overturned a lot tonight.
Pitch is a strike, Miami retains.
But Brennan has had a good attitude. Sometimes the umpires get a little daubered down.
they do.
When they've had some overturned calls.
What does that do for your confidence when you get overturned constantly? Or, well, it's only one game.
And Robert tried to hold, and he stopped it in time. 1-2. Mets were in a tie game in the 8th inning last night before Robert came through.
Got the hanging slider and hit it in the hole just under the glove of the 3rd baseman.
And Luis hits one on the ground to short. The flip to second for 1. Edwards the turn for the 6-4-3 double play.
Well, he hit it hard, and that's only way you can double him up. Beautiful double play right there. Tailor-made.
So 2 out and nobody on. Now Jared Young, who had a base hit to left his last time up. There is nobody throwing in the Mets bullpen.
Mr. Curry's going to go.
It's like he's going to go out
5
there for
innings.
a 5th inning.
Oh, wow.
He's only thrown 47 pitches so far, so. I'm sure they asked him, and he probably said, Skip, I'm good to go. When you're on the shuttle, you're always good to go.
Yeah, because you want the invite back.
Well, what are you going to tell the skipper? No, I'm tired. I don't think so, right?
But with the innings he's put in, he certainly can come to the 86 celebration tomorrow and watch it from the stands. Just like Jonathan Pintaro did.
Half swing, and he stopped it. So Tyler Zuber, we mentioned, pitched 1 game for the Mets last year. The Mets have had 1,313 players all time, and alphabetically, he's the second from the bottom. When he came up last year, he was right there at the bottom, but this year, Gio Zuniga came up and pitched in one game, and he overtook him for the last spot. Remember Gio? He was only here for like a day.
Spell that last name.
Zuniga, Z-U-N-I-G-A.
Like the actress, right? Wasn't there an actress, Daphne Zuniga, in the 80s?
Really?
I'm not familiar with
like
that.
Phoebe Cates? That
Yeah,
era?
that era. Came up with that Phoebe Cates pretty quick there.
I mean, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Who's the other actress in that? She's got 3 names. Oh,
Well,
Stuart Masterson.
no.
I like Ray Walston in that.
3-2. Swing and a miss. Got him. So Young strikes out to end the bottom of the 8th. Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Oh, she's a great actress.
She was Hot Tamale.
Mets baseball is brought to you by Pix11 in partnership with Wounded Warrior Project, by BritBox, stream the best of British TV, and by Slomin's. Visit ac.slomans.com for incredible savings on central air conditioning. Big crowd waiting around for the fireworks. That's hoping to provide them with some in the bottom of the 9th. First, Xavier Curry back out there for a 5th inning of relief. Heriberto Hernandez has walked and scored, struck out twice. The big inning for the Marlins was the 5th after Kodai Senga threw just 33 pitches in 4 scoreless innings. Having not pitched in 13 days, it started to catch up to him in the 5th. A couple of walks, a double by Marcy to put the Marlins on the board. Curry came in, gave up a couple of run-scoring hits. 4-run inning for the Marlins, and they've been in front ever since. And Curry's been in the game ever since. And now behind on Hernandez, 3-1, and there is still nobody up behind him in the bullpen. I don't know if the entire bullpen's been traded. But there's always that chance. I mean, last night we were told much later that A.J. Minter had not been available during the game last night because the trade had already been executed. So who knows what we're going to find out after the game tonight. I mean, Brooks Raley, after he pitched last night and pitched extremely well and got the win, talked like a man who knew he had made his last appearance as a Met. Minter was great for the Mets. Raley has been extraordinary for the Mets. Chop foul, 3-2 to Hernandez.
I mean, some of the biggest trades, or the majority of the trades, could happen while you guys are in your hotel room in Cleveland, right?
That's true. Yep.
Or on the plane.
On the
plane.
Yeah.
When do you get into Cleveland, Gary? Would you fly on Tuesday or Monday?
Monday late. Yeah.
I get in late myself. Monday.
3-2. And that one fouled at the plate. Well, Alvarez is still out there, which is a good sign after he took that shot off his thumb in the last inning. Eighth pitch of the at bat to Hernandez, and he popped it up. Jared Young tracking it. Curry gets out of the way. That's what a pitcher's supposed to do. 1 out. Now Jacob Marcy. Marcy had the RBI double that brought in the first run of the game and came in the 5th inning.
That 4-run 5th hit that bullet right by Young and stretched it into that double.
And he pops this one up. And Bichette waiting for it to come down. 2 pop-ups, 2 outs. In the bottom of the 9th, the Mets will have Semien, Polanco, and Alvarez due up. And Pete Fairbanks, who has been the Marlins closer, is up in the bullpen. They also have the lefty John King up, presumably if they add to their lead. Joe Max had a good night, a single, a double, 2 RBIs. Xavier Curry back in 2023 had a 6-inning start for the Guardians. That's the longest outing of his career. He's gone 4 2/3 tonight in relief. And ahead on Mac 0-2. Big doings in the American League West. The Astros lead the Rangers tonight 4-0 in the 5th behind Hunter Brown. If Houston wins, they're in first place.
That's right.
I mean, they were dead and buried.
They're in first place, and if they win tonight, they win the season series with Texas.
So they take the tiebreaker as well. And now 5-0. That's against Nate Eovaldi. I mean, they're going to move into first place, a game over 500 if they win. Crazy.
Seattle in their last 19, 6-13.
Swing and a miss, and Curry finishes off 5 innings of relief with his 2nd strikeout. Yeoman work by Curry to save the rest of the bullpen, which, you know, might have been traded. Go to the bottom of the 9th. It's 5-2. We will be in Pittsburgh next week for Friday Night Mets on Pix 11. Coverage will begin at 6 with the Cure Auto Insurance pregame. Then first pitch will come your way at 6:40. Last of the 9th, Mets down 5-2. Pete Fairbanks will be bidding for his 16th save. It has not been a pretty year for Fairbanks.
But he's 15 out of 18 in his saves. Look at the earned run average.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty last year in Tampa Bay either. So.
Well, what has plagued him has been the home run ball. Marcus Semien leads off his 2nd at bat of the night and takes cutter for a strike. 33 innings for Fairbanks this year, 8 home runs.
That's money time, too.
That's like Edwin Diaz 2019.
Yeah, remember that.
Gave up 15 that year.
He's got a for such a tall guy, he kind of takes that ball, puts it right by his ear, catcher style, very short. Oh, quick pitch. Almost got Marcus in the head.
Maybe he shouldn't be so quick.
No.
Polanco and Alvarez to follow. And Semien goes after a high cutter, and that's the first out. That's 12 strikeouts for Marlins pitchers tonight. 1 down in the 9th.
It was a breaking ball that many times you've seen that maybe hit out of the ballpark, and that's why Marcus is so mad that he didn't make contact.
Yes.
So now Polanco is 0 for 3. Reaching on the error, scored a run in the 5th. Trying to snap an 0 for 22 as he steps up in the 9th. And he smokes this one out to right field, but right there is Ruiz waiting for it. And the Mets are down to their final out of the night. Third game of the series tomorrow will be on SNY. 4:10 first pitch. Zach Thornton against Tyler Phillips. Ceremonies honoring the 1986 team begin at 3:30. We'll have full coverage starting at 2:30 on SNY, and Keith and Ron will be down there enjoying the festivities, and we'll be watching.
Yes. And we're looking forward to it.
2 out and nobody on. Alvarez is 0 for 2 and a walk tonight. And he flies one out to center field. Marcy going back to the warning track. Right at the fence, and he makes the catch, and that's how this one ends. The Marlins even up the series at a game apiece and hand the Mets just their second loss in their last 6 as Miami wins tonight 5-2.
Well, Senga looked really good for getting that spot start through 4 innings, but 2 walks in the 5th started that inning, ended up Marlins getting 4 runs, and that was too much for the Mets to come back on. Stowers with another home run.
Junk gets the win, now makes his record at 5-6 on the year. And Senga goes 0-8.
Now Kodai Senga stepping in when Freddie Peralta was scratched because of a potential impending trade. Had 4 good innings, 1 bad one, and Xavier Curry. Ullman worked to soak up the last 5. Stop and Shop game summary as the Marlins win 5-2. Mets baseball on Pix 11 is brought to you by Cambridge Paving Stones. With Armor Tech, your outdoor dreams come true. By Parker Life, we make aging part of life. By Jake's 58 Casino Hotel, where Long Island wins. And by Blue Chew Gold, knock it out of the park every time. Final score tonight, the Marlins 5, the Mets 2. Game 3 of this series tomorrow on SNY. Special coverage begins at 2:30 with the 40th anniversary celebration of the 1986 team. Game time at 4:10 with Zach Thornton on the mound for New York. Back on Pix 11 next Friday from Pittsburgh. Coverage begins next Friday from PNC Park at 6 o'clock. Coming up on Pix 11, it's New York Nightcap, and on SNY, it's Mercedes-Benz post-game live. Now for Keith Hernandez, Ron Darling, Steve Gelbs, and our entire crew, I'm Gary Cohen at Citi Field. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon over on SNY.